talking about
in March 1943, the very first operational building at Y12 was finished. And of course, by then, the security people had been looking at choices of names and so on and so on. And I asked my friend Paul Wilkinson, who worked in 9731, I said, well, how in the world did that get that name? It was the first building. Why wasn't it building number 1 or 9001 or something? And he says, well, hell, it was very easy. The concrete pad that the building sits on is 731 feet above sea level. So they named it 9731. So this is the kind of ingenious way later on that we selected code names and so on. We used code names for all the chemicals and so on. It was the compartmentalization was it was really good. Security was a major issue with all of us. We just didn't talk even to our buddies after work. And when you left town, you saw these big billboards about not talking. But when you went in on these buses, cattle cars, to Knoxville Monday nights to do your shopping, people would spot you because of the mud either on your shoes or on your pants cuffs. It was pretty easy. And boy, you Knoxvillians were kind of hostile about all these damn Yankees coming into their town. They didn't make any distinction between people that came from Chicago and California and New York. They're all damn Yankees and strangers. And they knew that because people were working out here. They knew. So they had, it wouldn't be long on Monday night before somebody might stop you on the street and say, hey, that sure is a big plant you got out there. What you doing? Well, of course, we can't really tell him. It's a secret operation, but it's war work, important war work. Well, it looks like you can tell me something about what you're doing. And after doing that for a while, people got sick and tired of that same line, so we started making up stories. Well, if you promise not to tell anybody, what we're doing out there is making a great big city for officers in the Army and the Navy to come live in after the war. Oh, is that right? Yeah, that's what it's for. It's a big town for people to come retire in. Or you'd say, well, what we're doing is making fourth-term election buttons for Franklin Roosevelt. And we're making luggage for globe-trotting Eleanor Roosevelt to go around the country. Or you'd say, well, you promise you won't tell anybody, but what we're making is thousands of barrels of a thick green oil. And we got just shipping docks full of these 55-gallon drums of this thick green oil. We're going to take it out and pour it on top of the Atlantic Ocean. And when the German U-boats stick their periscopes up through this, they're going to think they're still under the water. So the submarines keep going up and up and up. And when they get up out of the water high enough, we shoot them down with our airplanes. Or one that I like is what we're doing is making a bunch of full-size front ends of horses to ship to Washington to go with that excess of horses' rears that they got up there.
The only one of those I'd heard before was the horses one, but those other ones I had not.
And another guy says, I don't mind telling you what I'm making out there. She'd fire $1.17 an hour. One of my favorites is a guy at Y12, and he said, I'll just be honest with you all, I don't know what they's making out there. But I'll tell you this much. The government could sure as hell go somewhere and buy it a lot cheaper.
Oh, those are all good.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun.
Gosh, well, that's really all I have. Is any other final thoughts or comments, or?
You better shut me up. I've done enough. I want to give you those names.
Well, it's been a wonderful interview. It's just been tremendous. I can't thank you enough for coming down and interviewing with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Good. I did have one. Stop the camera for me because I do have one question.